Hello, tribe. My name is Emily Potter. I'm the director of this tribe, and I'm interviewing Lucie Lynch today. She's in Hawaii, and the reason why I asked Lucie to do this interview is because we are very aligned in one purpose. So, Lucie, I'm so grateful that you said yes to being on camera and talking about things that we feel so passionately about. And I'm going to just introduce to the tribe that what we're going to talk about today is going to go straight to the heart of what this tribe means. We are not interested in being lukewarm here. We're not interested in just having beautiful songs just to impress each other. We're here to do some deep, deep, deep light work and to allow more light and celebration and joy to be on the planet. That's something that Lucie stands for. And so she's someone who I admire. You're someone I admire for doing your inner work, for going the distance. And the purpose of it all is that we can take leaps of faith and overcome the things that are holding us back. And so Lucie has agreed to share with us where she's at right now to model and well, I'm saying you're modeling it. You're not here to model anything, but to basically create a culture, to create the same culture that we are creating together in the tribe of being a vulnerable place that we can share and to lean in and we can overcome so that we can be those bright lights. So Lucie, welcome. Thank you for saying yes to this little interview.
Oh, good morning from my side. It's such an honor, Emily, to be here. I mean, since our paths have crossed, I had already many metamorphoses again. I think like my life is really it's one transformation after the other, and then I feel like in the end one big transformation overall. But inside that one transformation, there's all these small ones. A little bit like you have an album. And there's all these different songs in the album, right? And I feel like that every phase in my life has a song, And my songs have never been to impress. My songs have always been to express my deepest, emotions. Those ones that I sometimes could not talk about. The only way I could express them was really to sing about them. And it's meanwhile really a tool that I use. It's like, okay, when I'm in a situation like to be very vulnerable up front right now, I feel like since, this year, has really guided me on that journey inward again. And sometimes there's a phase when for a month or two, there's not even a song that can express what I feel. And it gives me chills right now because sometimes that is the pivotal moment when I feel like, oh my God, am I lost? Is this it? Is there no song anymore even left to express what I feel? Can I not anymore find these beautiful medicines for the world to share? And then I have to even let that go. I have to even let that go, the idea of that's my purpose. And usually then the song rises again.
Where are you right now? You and I have been on this journey together. You're so raw and so vulnerable with your audiences and with the tribe. And I want to know what's the next leap of faith? Where are you struggling and overcoming at this moment on your journey?
I feel like right now, because I'm again in like a form of, I thought I already was super authentic and raw and myself. And I realized that there's even a deeper element of that. And there is, and it almost makes me cry. There's like, I have so much love for the world and for the people. And even if sometimes I look around and I look what's happening in the world and I'm like doubting that. I'm like, what is this? Spiritual bypassing? Like, why do I have this love? But I feel, Emily, my next step, my leap of faith is really to, despite of everything, or maybe even because of everything, I want to make more love visible. And the thing is, from the inside out. So it needs to, for me, it's coming from the inside out. Like I need to make that love in myself more visible. So right now, my challenge that I'm overcoming is learning to love, everything about me,
Oh,
everything that I've been given. And that is just something I feel like most of us need to learn that. We need to really get there before we can really share really authentically. Because if we don't accept all of what we have, the light and the dark and the up and the down and the twists and the turnarounds, I think it's tricky, because then it stays more a shallow flow.
you're someone, Lucy, who someone new in the tribe could see that has it all together.
Exactly.
You have the stage presence that I've never seen. You have the training, you have the talent, you have the band, you have the gigs. I know that right now that's a little bit different, but you have these things together. You've been doing this for years. You've been around the world. You've got it together. You have purpose. You know how to get vulnerable. That's the thing also, is you know how to get vulnerable. You know how to do a certain level of vulnerability to the point where people are very touched and affected. And so then you could stop right there, because look, it's all set. The formula's there. And what you're saying now is that you're going deeper. There are places inside of you that you do not love yet, and you're scared. And what if people see that? What if people know that? And right now you're exposing yourself. And so what's the purpose of that? You already have it all dialed in. What would be the purpose of going deeper for you?
I think the purpose of going deeper is that what we see, I feel like it's a direct reflection of what I see in the world right now. It's almost like I cannot, I don't know if this is the right word, but I cannot shuffle things under the carpet no longer. And I feel like that's what we have been doing as humanity in the world, like shovel things away, like pretending certain things are not there. But I feel like if we cannot love everything, if we cannot find that love for even the darkest places, it's tricky to birth into this new world, new earth. And it's the same with me personally. I believe that the purpose for me is to really, if I can love even more of myself, then I can even more so give others the opportunity to also go there. That people no longer get caught up in the illusion that some of us have got it together. I would really love for all of us to understand that we're all in our own ways winging it. And, even the ones that we put on pedestals and that we think like, oh my God, and they got it. They got the villa, the car, the husband, the wife, the whatever it is, the ivory tower and the golden toilet, right? So it's still the illusion of, look at them, they have it together. And I feel like if we could all be vulnerable enough to be, I don't know, you're living into the I don't know. And I feel that's right there. That's when the answers come, when for a moment, when our ego is okay with saying, I have no idea, darling. I have no idea. Let's have a tea and see,
That, I feel like believing that someone else has it together and that person allowing us to think that it could be detrimental, because then it separates us. And where you're coming from is a place of connection. Hey, I'm figuring it out as I go. You're figuring it as I go. And even though I have a lot together, like there's always a depth, and that's where you're at now too. And that's why your tears of feeling shaky are so healing for people to listen to and hear. Now, do you ever get afraid that if you go any deeper, and if not, then I want to hear your own version of this, like what the fear looks like, the fear of if you go any deeper, you might shatter everything you've already built? Tell me about that. That's one of my fears. So go ahead.
Bingo.
Oh, good.
That's
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that comes with that, right? So I think that's part of my challenge a little bit right now, is that I feel like, oh my God, like, is everything that I've done so far, is that all falling away? And, because it happened a few times in my life, and the biggest time was when I left Germany 12 years ago to go on this journey, which has brought me here, and look what what I've created in those 12 years. But I remember very vividly how I had to let go of everything back then. Back then it was the most beautiful apartment and a partner, a very successful one-woman show. I left my parents behind, basically. I mean, it was a big leap of faith, and I feel there is a similar energy in the air right now, not so much on leaving everything behind, but in a way of leaving my identity behind. And that creates fear. And that creates that fear of, oh my God, everything. Does that mean I have, does it mean I lose everything? My family, do I end up like barefoot on the street, just me and my guitar? Like there is an element of fear to that. And, but right now, I feel like the pain of not surrendering to that is almost bigger.
Unbearable sometimes.
It's unbearable. So right now, the only thing I can really do is just pray, in my own way, just really pray. And praying meaning like literally offering everything. There's this beautiful woman, her name is Tosha Silver, and she wrote a book called It's Not Your Money. It's a beautiful book. And it's all about just kind of offering, basically, divine beloved, allow me to stay open for whatever will come, and allow everything that needs to come, and allow everything that needs to go, And that's it. Like that could be the prayer for me right now, that I just am in that. And that makes it more bearable, but still, I mean, you probably know that. I mean, sometimes it's just like, it's physical, I feel it physically, like drenching me. And then I just have to remember, that butterfly, that caterpillar that turns into the butterfly, where the squeezing is so hard. And you would love to help the caterpillar out of the cocoon, but you also know if you rush it, you might end up destroying that new butterfly because it will not be able to fly. So right now, I'm using the time of, that they're still quarantining, that I'm still not able to rush around out there. And I'm sitting a lot. And I started, which is very funny, I took out paint again, like watercolors and acrylic paints. And I started making these little, I went to collect some coral from the beach, and I started painting corals and glue some crystals on it. And I started to really just express that again in, just in art, using the arts.
We talked, it was several weeks ago, about how you were having an inner process and you knew that the world was just shaky, and that you're a leader, but you were struggling with how to be a leader. Does a leader look like out there and posting every day and making sure that everybody saw your face? And yet you were having this inner process for yourself. And I just really loved our conversation around that, Lucie, because we talked about what true leadership looks like. And you might have even had a lot more, expansion since that conversation. What does it look like to you now tell me what leadership looks like to you? And I don't even know if you want to change any of the words I'm saying, but I really loved that. So that we're not trying to force being leaders, saying, hey, look at me, I'm posting every day, and look, be strong, everybody. Like that feels like there's not something back behind it. So tell me what leadership looks like to you. True, I like to call it, we are world conscious leaders. Tell me about that for you. How are you claiming that?
I feel like the first thing is a wonderful question. Oh my God. So first of all, I'm similar like you. I call it the heart-led leader, or the heartfelt leader even, And I think the first thing that comes up immediately is that a leader is not loud. And what I mean by that is, I always thought that as a leader, I have to be constantly out there, and I have to be loud, and I have to like scream it from the rooftops, people follow me, kind of thing. And now what has really come to me is it's more of an embodiment. Like it's really more of embodying the conscious heart-led leadership, meaning really living step by step. It's one thing, like, for example, in the beautiful money alchemy class, it's one thing for you to put out these beautiful 10 tools, right? But then to embody them, right? Because I think as humans, we have the tendency, we have it all here, right? We're so super clever and we have it all figured out. And we all know how to have a better diet. We all know how our life would look like if we would work out more, we would be more loved, more this, more that. But it's a lot of times only in our heads. It's an idea. It's an ideal idea. But so now I feel like this is where it drips down, but it's a drip. It's like a really nicely like drip of coffee. It's like it drips. It's almost like the filter is here, and now it's like dripping into the heart, and it's not like pour it in and let it rush through. It's just not how we're made. So right now it's that dripping process, and I feel like with sharing that honestly, we are already leaders, because I feel that the idea of leading is changing too, because it's not that we as leaders want to create followers any longer. I think as leaders, we want to create leaders so that I can be a leader and you can be a leader and she can be a leader and he can be a leader. And then there are these other leaders. So we create these webs of leaders that then create leadership, friendship, companionship.
I
Yeah.
love that. So what you're saying is we're basically redefining what leadership is looking like. We're redefining the word. We're not looking for just one person. We're not looking for followers. We're looking for empowering leaders with leaders. I love that.
Yeah. And one thing that just very briefly, what really comes, just a very tiny vulnerable thing that you might appreciate, what just came up was, because just yesterday I walked my dog at night, and there was this one moment when I had to be very vulnerable, because there was an element of me was like, I'm not sure if I can do this. Like, there's a part of me that doesn't want to be in this world right now.
I hear you.
I just don't want to be here. And I could see how my mind got all freaked out about it. And then, Emily, I had this moment and I allowed it to be. I said, it's okay that you don't want to be here. It's okay. And with that, something so big shifted. I just no longer resisted. I had this moment, and and it's immediately gets these labels of, oh, suicidal or blah, 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 blah. No, it was this deep moment of longing back to my, my star family, and how appropriate that we talk this morning, because I feel even that, to love that part of self that sometimes just thinks it doesn't belong here.
That was really brave of you to say, in this world where people freak out. You're telling the truth, and that's part of, no, it is what you are overcoming, is every part of you that has a judgment or whatever that is that you don't love inside of you, you're giving permission to love. And that's revolutionary, Lucie.
And I feel we need a revolution, but we need a different revolution. We need the soul revolution.
Quiet, inner reflection, and speaking the authentic truth revolution. And this is why I wanted to interview you, because you embody that. We'll use that word for you. You mentioned this will be my last question, and then I'm so grateful that you said that you sing us a song, a new song. You mentioned the money alchemy, and I don't want you to talk anything about that, but I want to share, at least right now, I love talking about that in general. It's one of the biggest reasons why we're stuck as a tribe, but we're overcoming it one moment at a time. But what I want to ask you, you are a constant and a consistent voice on those calls that we have. And I want to just ask you to share what has the gathering of other Lightworker musicians on those calls been for you? What are those calls for you? And just share your experience.
I think, it's medicine. It's It's remembering. For me, it's really the gathering with like-minded souls and spirits. It just rejuvenates. It's like recharging. You're recharging because you're, for that moment in time, we are sometimes 90 minutes, sometimes 2 hours. We are there together. And then you hear all these relatable stories, right? You hear relatable insights, pains, tears. We share so much on these calls. And so I feel like that's where the juice is, because then it's like your spirit can take a breath and it's like, I'm not alone. And that's, I think, the most important thing is that we, especially when we are people who are working maybe with not always so like-minded people, in different fields. So to have that, if it's once a month or sometimes, twice a month, you can gather and just be with your peeps and be like, oh, okay, yes. Oh, thank you so much for bringing me back into my heart space. And now I'm ready again to go out there. It's that helping, that remembering. And, yes, there's an element of comfort, but it's also not really always comfortable, right? Because it's the work that we do is not shallow. The work that we do is not, oh yeah, yeah, great, awesome. Oh yeah, Lightworker, yeah, me too, yeah, great, No, like it's literally, and we are usually all very empathic too. So that means when one of us is going through something and we go on the call, usually that person goes through that for all of us. Mm-hmm. And so then I think it's literally, it feels like going back to a spiritual recharge, to a recharging session. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I get that as well. And that's my experience of those calls too. And I thank you for leaning in as deeply as you do, is because your presence is activating that for other people too. So I want to invite you to share a song with us. And I'll tell everybody as you get that ready that Lucie's voice, Lucie's presence is music medicine specifically for me. Not everyone's music medicine is for everyone, but there's particular people. And Lucie, you are for me. There was a time just last week that I was not doing well, and you were live, and I tuned in, and it was exactly what I needed to feed me. So thank you. So I look forward to hearing this song. Tell us a little bit about it before you begin.
Yeah. So this song is called Little Lion, and I'm a Leo, from my, astrology birth chart. And I could see that I have that Leo in there, but the lion, but she has been a little quiet, and it was almost like as if I have forgotten about her a little bit. And I feel that she's ready to roar again. And then, and I don't think you have to be a Leo to relate to that. I feel like it's that when we are not sharing our authentic voice, when we are not speaking our truth, when we are not sharing our authentic roar with the world, being no longer shy about expressing what we're really feeling, and letting go of the idea of comforting others by not really saying what we're feeling, because it's actually the opposite that's happening. Because usually a lot of us feel what others feel. And so I think we can no longer fake each other. I'm done with it. So that's what that song is about.
Okay.
Let's see. I've been trying to forget this lion deep inside me. She's been crying, life is far too boring if you keep hiding. Get out of your shell. Show me your roar. is lying deep inside me. She's been roaring, life is far too boring when you're hiding. Get out of your shell. I wanna hear you roar, because there's so much love, so much love, so much love deep inside me. There's so much love, so much love, so much love deep inside me. And you, and you. And I've been singing till my ears were ringing deep inside me. But right now it's so quiet, I can't hear a thing, even if I'm trying. The world wants to hear me roar. The world needs to hear my roar. But sometimes all I got is a teeny tiny sound of love. Love, love, love is deep inside me. There is that love, is that love, is that love, is that love deep inside me. And I can feel it in you, I can feel it in me, I can feel it in everyone I see. I can feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it in my bones. And I've been diving deep down in my soul, and now I'm shining. I'm here to live my life, I'm here to give my life, I'm shining. No more hiding in my shell, I'm ready to roar. I'm ready to roar. Can you hear me roar?
Lucie Lynch. Watch out, world. That was amazing. That was a new song.
Yeah, it's a brand new song, and it still keeps morphing. Yeah.
Lucie, I felt it. I resonate with that so much. Thank you so much for taking this time today. I thank you so much for the contribution that you are for the tribe and opening your heart to the tribe and offering us where you are next on your leap of faith. And I send lots of love to you today. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Yes. Aloha.
Okay, I just stopped, and I have an appointment right now, so I have to go. But thank you so much, Lucie.
Absolutely, I love you, and I see you Friday, no?
Yeah, I'll put this up and then you can share it if you want to, whatever you want.
Absolutely,
I'll make it public too. Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.